right? But in the same sense, I think what's most important is when we go through something, what's the perspective that we have of it?
You're not done, bro. It's the start. Reframe the story, bro. It's in our control to reframe our story.
Traumatic times will happen to you in life. It's how we reframe those situations that define whether we grow and learn from them or whether we become a victim to them. Today we're talking to two people who have experienced extreme traumas in life, Inky Johnson and Mark Prince. These guys know about how to reframe trauma, and those are the lessons that they're going to deliver to you today. Today's video was sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can get the hardest worker in the room hoodies and so much more with the link in the description, where 100% of the profits go back into creating this content. But before that, when difficult times hit, when trauma hits, how do we reframe it and learn and grow from it instead of becoming the victim to it? This is Inky Johnson and Mark Prince talking about exactly that. I'm your host, Jordan Mulligan. Let's jump into the video.
And so when you go to college in football, you have to play 3 years in order to declare for the NFL. Now, basketball, you have to go to college and just play 1 year, then you could declare. And so that was going to be my third year that I was about to play, complete, then I can declare for the NFL. And so at the beginning of my junior year, my coach came to me and basically said, "Hey, Ink, man, you're projected draft pick. Like, NFL teams scouting you, they love you. All you got to do is do what you've been doing and you'll get a shot. You'll be an automatic multimillionaire. You could take care of your family." And I was like, awesome, man. And so coming into my junior year, I'm thinking all I have to do is do what I've been doing. I just got to play football. That's easy, right? And I come out the first game we play against California Bears. I execute. I have a great game. We get the victory. And we're going into the second game against Air Force. Tough group, disciplined group. Fourth quarter rolls around, 2 minutes left. And so usually in 2 minutes, the game is basically about to be over. And so we're thinking, we make a couple of more stops. I'm thinking if I get the opportunity to hit a guy in the game, make him fumble, get ready for Florida the next week. And so the quarterback drops back, throws it to a guy, he catches it, and I go to make the tackle. That's supposed to end the game. And as soon as I hit him, right, something different happened that never happened to me before in my life, right? My body goes completely limp. I fall to the ground, I black out. I just had my anniversary not long ago, September 9th. But it's a special day for me, right? Reflective day. But that exact day, September 9th, 2006, it was a day that, you know, I did everything the way I always did it, right? I prepared for the game the same way. I listened to the same music. My pregame routine and ritual was the same. And in that game, when I went to make that tackle, I went at it the way that I always went at a tackle. But for some strange reason, when I hit him, every breath in my body left, right? My body went completely limp, fell to the ground, blacked out, right? When I came to, my teammates were standing over me like, "Ink, get up, let's rock." I was like, I can't, right? I can't move. There was a shock going through my body. I couldn't feel anything. But me thinking, it's just a stinger, shoulder injury, nothing too serious, right? And when they get me over to the hospital and they run their test, and then they bring me back into a room, and my mother had just left the room, kissing, praying, you know, kissed me on my head, praying, and saying, "Ink, you'll be fine," right? And when she walks out, the doctor runs in and says, guys, we got to rush this kid back to emergency surgery. He's about to die." And I remember thinking, like, man, like, what? Right? I'm saying to him, like, you can't use another word? Like, man, it's like, use a synonym. Like, I'm thinking he's joking, right? And he's like, "No, man, you ruptured your subclavian artery in your chest. You're bleeding internally. I got to rush you back, take the main vein out of your left leg, plug it into your chest in order to save your life." He said, "Oh, I guarantee you, you won't be here in the morning." He said, "You're bleeding internally." And so the next morning I woke up, I was grateful that I was still alive, right? And I think because of the seriousness of the situation, right, it made me view football in a micro way, in terms of I love the game, right? It hurt that my career ended, right? It hurted, right? But I was there. My life was spared. Like, if they didn't catch that my artery had busted and I was bleeding internally, I could have went to sleep that night, and the next morning, the title on the newspaper would have been different. It wouldn't have been Inky Johnson suffered possibly career-ending injury. It would have been Inky Johnson lost his life last night from a tackle made in the game. And so it made me view it differently, even though I had a long road of rehabilitation for my arm ahead of me.
Wow, man, what a world I entered into, because it was plagued with demons, bro. Plagued with demons, ready to take over, and just the demon of anger, bruv, and revenge. He's a strong bastard. Whoa. He will come and take over your life and drain you. The demon of unforgiveness will take over and rinse every bit of love out of you. It will take away your personality, bruv. It will take away your joy. And I was up against these demons, bro, that was trying to take the very essence of my life away from me and my purpose. And by then, obviously, boxing had gone. I'd had an injury to my leg. I'd been out of boxing from 2000, had a really bad injury. They reconstructed my knee, and I was 19 wins and 1 loss. And I was number 1 in the WBO and were rated in the top 10 by other governing bodies. And I was a force to be reckoned with. And then strip, my career was over. And they told me, the consultant said, you got no career. So being in that position, so 6 years into that, I'd been trying to find my place in life again. So it's almost like I'd gone back to square one. I'd built, gone back to square one, and now got stripped in the most horrendous way. I'm supposed to be done out here. I'm supposed to be done out here, bro. No career, no son, bro. I ain't supposed to be sitting here with you, man.
My grandmother used to say something to me all the time, and I think it's so true. And she would say to me, Inky, either somebody is in the midst of adversity or just came out of adversity, or it won't be long before they head into adversity. So you need to be prepared either way. And so we all go through adversity, opposition. I think that's the thing that makes us all in common as people, right? No matter if you're from London, Atlanta, Florida, California, New York, like we're all going to go through something at some point or phase in our life, right? And as cliche as it sounds, when the quote says, it's never about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to it. That's very true, right? But in the same sense, I think what's most important is when we go through something, what's the perspective that we have of it, right? Because for most people, when you go through something, the person's natural perspective is, okay, what did I lose, right? What happened to me? Like I took a loss, right? People never look at it and say, okay, man, tell me, what did you gain, right? Even though I know it hurt, you didn't want to go through it, but look at it in a way to where you can say, what's the lesson in this, right? What would you say life is trying to teach you from dealing with this? And so when I went through it, my perspective was, okay, what can I extract from it to apply to other areas and aspects of my life that I feel can help other people? And I firmly believe the quicker you can shift your perspective from yourself to others when you're in the midst of adversity, the quicker you'll get through it, right? Martin Luther King has a quote that says, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help other people? Now, I'm not telling you to not acknowledge your pain. I'm not saying that. I'm not telling you not to say, man, I'm going through this and it's hard. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you go through it, look at it, step back from the picture and say, okay, I'm dealing with this. 9 out of 10 times, there's somebody else that's either dealt with it or they're going to deal with something similar to this. And if I deal with it in the right way, I can use it to add value to lives of other people. The funny thing was, I had never heard of the injury that I suffered. Never heard of it. When I went through it, I met probably 10 guys years after that had been going through it, that I could talk to at different stages and phases in the process and say, hey man, Ink, how did you deal with this? How did you deal with this? When they told you this, how did you accept that? right? How did you process that? And I was like, bingo, this is how I got through it. This is how I dealt with it, right? But I had to shift my perspective from why me to why not me.
That should show everybody that's me. That's a picture of me in life. I'm done. I've been abused. I'm done. I've been given up on. I'm done. My parents didn't sort of look after me. I'm done. Someone got me into selling drugs on the roads, country lines. I'm done. There's no hope for me. I've got a criminal record. How am I going to become a businessman? How am I going to have a chance? I'm done. No, you're not done. You're not done, bro. It's the start. Reframe the story, bro. It's in our control to reframe our story. Why do we buy the story that we're given? Why do we give up on this gift called life so easily and allow the pain to stop us from moving on into our great future, man? We got this. We got control. We're a special creation. And we give up and we throw it away so easy. That's why I can't give up and I can't throw it away, because I realize that I'm special, that I'm made by a special power, and we all are, every single one of us. Look at the gift that you lot have got to come together and formulate this vision of creating something wonderful to give a platform for other people. What would we do without you three? Do you understand me? You've got a special place on this planet. What you do, there's loads of people doing it, but not like you. Not like you and not like you. You do it your way. And that's what I want people to understand. There's no one on the planet like you. No one. They ain't got your DNA. They ain't got your fingerprints. They haven't got your tone, the way you do things. They're not like you. So you can't decide to throw in the towel and get out the game of life. You can't do that. You're robbing us of what you've been given, what's hidden inside you. There's a hidden leader in all of us. There's gifts in all of us. Why don't we tap into it?
Thank you so much to Inky. Thank you so much to Mark. Two people who have been through difficult times, and that's an understatement, in their lives, and they reframed it and they turned it into ways of helping other people and becoming successful. For me, I've had a similar experience where something really bad happened to me, and the reframing of it is what saved me, and it made it turn into something that was positive, and it was something that helped me help other people. And I want to just tell people that if you're going through something difficult, there is a way of reframing it. And it seems sometimes that it is the end of the world and this is it and everything is over. But once you're on the other side of that, you can reach back over and help other people and make a difference in this world. And it is extremely important for people like you to have that mental fortitude, to battle through and to find a way to the other side, to then be the lesson and the inspiration for other people. Today's video was sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can get the Hardest Worker in the Room hoodies, the Inspire Change t-shirts, and so much more with the link in the description, where 100% of the profits go back into creating this content. I'm your host, Jordan Mulligan, and if you want to see what I get up to on Instagram, it's at Jordan Mulliganbrother. Come say hello, start a conversation. I will see you in the next one. Have a blessed and productive day. Peace.